I'm Judi Betts from Baton Rouge, and I love painting watercolors. Today I'm going to do a free art lesson showing you how I save white, working with critters such as chickens and roosters. I'm going to use a 1-inch flat brush to put some water on here, and because I've used water that's not totally clean, then you can see where I'm putting the water. I like to save lots of white, and I like to show people how I do it. In my classes, we spend a lot of time practicing different ways of saving white. This might look messy at first, but I have already done a little bit of drawing. I really like to draw. I draw in restaurants, I draw in the car if somebody else is driving, and I draw in concerts, and I even paint in concerts. Sometimes it's a surprise to see what you have painted at intermission or when the lights go on. I think that's enough water. Now I'm going for a cool dominance, so I'm going to start with some blue. For me, blue and green are cool. That's toward gray. I'm saving some arbitrary lights. Those are arbitrary lights, as well as some areas where I know I want white. My board is tipped, so the paint will move down. Sometimes I put numbers on my drawing to indicate light areas. I haven't done that today. I said I was going for cool. I have quite a bit of warm here, so I'll add a little green. This is just a little bit of Windsor green, and I push my brush. I want something brighter blue over here. Sometimes people say, do you always draw before you start to paint? And most of the time I either allocate space or I do a bit of drawing as I did here. Now maybe you can't see my lines. Maybe I've painted so that they're hidden, but you'll see when this is dry how I will bring this into realism. I'll work a little bit of warm here, come right into part of this. Cool dominance, but a little bit of warm. I'll soften that, and I think I'll use a little bit of cool purple in this area. Now that's quite light. I encourage people to start light, save white. So I have some light areas. They may be more colorful later. And now I will let it dry. So I'll step back. I'm going to work with a gray because there will be some colorful accents in a few minutes. This is almost like drawing with a brush. That's a warm gray. I like to get shadows in early sometimes. The background is a mid-tone, the first wash, the amalgam. Then this is a little bit darker mid-tone. This one will have bright blue feathers, cobalt blue. Now move to green just a little bit, a little cerulean blue. When I'm painting watercolor, I like to think that things sort of come into focus. I like to have mystery. I like people to say, "Oh, is that what you were painting?" So when I work on big paintings and work a lot of realism, I hope there are many surprises. The older we get, it's harder to surprise people with nice surprises. Sometimes surprises aren't good surprises. I'm going to indicate the heads on both of them because that helps me set the pattern for where I'm going. That was quinacridone coral, and this will be quinacridone rose. I needed a little more of that. And I'll soften that, soften it. I mixed cadmium yellow and yellow ochre. Thinking about the shadows, and they're going to go on mostly on the right, and pull down into legs. Legs don't have to be orange or yellow. Sometimes we think of them that way. And make feet big. It's like that's how they stand. Sometimes I talk a lot when I'm painting. Other times I'm thinking about what I'm doing. So I just don't say much. When we're doing any kind of creatures, barnyard creatures or whatever, we don't have to show 2 eyes or 2 legs. We can just show 1 eye sometimes and 1 leg. This is fun. It's kind of like having a sandwich instead of a big meal. But the more white you save, you can come into it with a little more color later if you care to. I might add just a little bit of yellow in here. Push it, soften it. And I'll do a little line work over here. I like my roosters to look like they're frisky. I don't want them to look like they're ready to take a nap. And I like them to talk to each other. Sometimes when I'm painting animals, people say, "Do you talk to them?" I say yes. They say, "Do they talk to you?" I say yes. So they're having a discussion right now. This one is listening. I think this one is doing the talking. I think I'll let this dry again and then I'll finish it. I dried it, and now I will talk just a little bit more about saving the white. There's some white in here, some arbitrary whites, and a large area of planned white there. I'm going for a cool dominance, so I'm just inventing some colors in the tail. Not a whole lot. A little bit of green up in here. And I've chosen to put the shadows on, mostly on the right side, right and under. And come down the leg and pull a shadow across that way. On this one, I'll make the eye show up a little bit more and come under right there. Then here, I'll go a little cooler in the darks. Go more neutral toward gray. A little richer toward purple. So this is my main actor. A little more really bright blue. I'll touch cerulean. So by doing that, it makes some of this white more important. I'll come back and touch Windsor green and a little yellow. Not much. I want you to see how important it is to have white. But a little bit of staccato, ruffled feathers here. Pull it out. There we go. Then I can have a little bit more dark here and show that this critter is well fed. And make the shadow. I like to change color in a shadow. I think I'll dry this and then we'll really have it finished. I'll be back as soon as I get it dry. I'll do just a few more accents, and I want to show the roundness of them. Like here, where I might make a round mark, I could make it slightly angular, but maybe a curve there. And soften that. And since I'm going for cool, I could have just a little bit more cool there. Perhaps that's a cool gray. And maybe a little blue purple. Hope you will have fun painting chickens and roosters. Thank you for watching a free art lesson, and I hope you'll check out my DVDs. And here are my books, Watercolor Let's Think About It. It's in its 5th printing, and Painting a Quest Toward Extraordinary has won 5 awards in international book competition. Thanks, and have fun painting. May your experience be extraordinary.